Okay, so I have another good story for this. Justin Kahn, who was one of the founders of Kiko, like I said, I wasn't a founder, I was basically their first employee, along with Emmett Shear of Kiko. Justin went to school and didn't know anything. He did not go to school for computer science. He did not go to school to learn how to program. And by the time I had met him, 6 or 8 months in to Kiko, he was still writing a lot of code for Kiko, actually. So he taught himself how to program and forced himself to learn and how to build things so that he could be useful. Because otherwise, I think he felt like he might just sit on the sidelines. And Justin's gone on to be do Justin TV and now exec and sorts of things and all sorts of successful. So when I see this question, and I'm biased, right, because my background is computer science, I tend to say you should go learn how to be technical. And maybe you're not technical enough to be the best engineer, crack engineer, and be technical for the life of your company. But if you're doing a technical product, it's very helpful to be technical enough just to help get an MVP off the ground, a crappy V1 off the ground. If there's something else you bring to the table where you feel like, gosh, I'm so good at marketing, I'm so good at something else that will be useful to the company early on, then maybe you can find engineers to join you on that. But I think a lot of people struggle with, I need engineers to get this thing going. I don't have enough of a personal resume that engineers are going to join me. It's kind of sight unseen, like, oh, he's such a great marketer, we're going to join him. If you don't have that cachet, then I feel like the only way to get engineers is to show that you're willing to get your hands dirty too. Because the one thing that turns every engineer off is this fear of the idea guy, the business guy who just wants to, I have this idea and I just need some engineers to build it. The fact that you're taking the time to learn how to build it, even if you're not doing most of the work, but at least you're trying to, sends a signal like, I think this part of the product is valuable and I'm willing to figure it out myself. But I also think it's just good practice because I think being able to actualize your own ideas is so useful and so valuable. And I don't think, I think kind of fear is the mind killer in this case, right? I think a lot of people think, I didn't go to school for computer science, how can I be a programmer? Programming looks very complicated. But I think I've done the math on this before, half the engineers at User Voice did not go to school for computer science. In fact, some of the best engineers I've ever met didn't go to school for computer science, and some of them didn't even go to college at all. Co-founder Lance, who's one of the greatest engineers I've ever met, he was like I think a lit arts major, right, at a liberal arts school up in Washington. We've got some guys on our team who went through more of an apprenticeship program than any traditional schooling. So I think a lot of people can. I think it can be learned, right? And I think it's easier to learn that. I see people that spend months and months beating their head against the wall trying to find engineers. And I'm like, in that amount of time, you could have picked up enough skills to build your V1 yourself, or at least build something. So that's my answer to that. Like I said, I had watched Justin do it, and like I said, he wasn't the greatest programmer, but he was good enough for where we were as a business at that point.